Hello everybody, in this tutorial I'll show you how to open a pop-up when you click on a button. So let me show you quickly. When you click on this button, it will show a pop-up, and when you click on the close button, it will disappear. Also when you click outside the pop-up, it will disappear. So let's begin. Let's create a new folder named pop-up, and let's open it using VS Code or Visual Studio Code. You can use your own code editor to open the folder. Now let's create a new file named index.html. You can use anything else here in the name, and let's put some HTML5 generic code using the shortcut, and we will change the title here to pop-up. And first let's create the button. So we are keeping it into a parent div, and the button text we can use click me, or you can use anything else here. And let's use the ID so that we can grab it in the JavaScript. Now we will add the pop-up itself. So let's create another div, and the class is pop-up. We will use a ID here. Again, we can use it in the JavaScript easily. For that purpose, we are using a ID. Now let's put a pop-up inner div so that we make it centered easily in the CSS. And in the pop-up inner, we will add a pop-up header. The class name is pop-up header, and let's create a pop-up content for the actual content, and then we'll add the pop-up footer. Now let's add some text into this div. So for the header, let's put a h1 and give it a text of pop-up header. On the content, let's add a p tag with the lorem ipsum text, and then in the pop-up footer, let's add another h2, and let's add some text here, pop-up footer. Now let's see how it looks so far in the browser. So this is how it looks. Now we'll have to make it beautiful, providing some style. I'm using internal CSS here. You can use external file for the CSS. Let's put some CSS in the body so that there is no padding and margin, and the font family to sans serif so that every element take this font family. Now we'll have to add some CSS on the pop-up so that it is full white, and there is a black transparent background, and also it will be fixed to the body. So the background colors is black and with 50% opacity. So we can do that using RGBA. And then the white should be 100%. Also the height will be 100%. Now we'll have to align the pop-up, the main pop-up, into it so that it is centered. For that reason, we will use display flex and align item center. And then the position should be fixed as it will be fixed in the top, and the top will be 0 pixel. So let's see how it looks. This is how it looks so far. Now we'll have to design the main pop-up, the inner pop-up. For that, let's take the pop-up inner class and put some CSS here. So we can give it a max width of 600 pixels, and then a background color of white, and also we'll align the text into center. Now let's design the pop-up header. So we'll add some padding, and we'll give it a bluish background color, light blue background color. So the same will be applied to the pop-up footer. Let's copy the class. Just copy it from the pop-up header. Now we'll design the pop-up content, the main content between header and footer. So we'll add some padding here, 40 pixels. So let's see how it looks. This is how it looks. Now let's make it center horizontally, so that we can add. So for that we can add. Okay, we'll have to give a color on the header so that it looks better. Also on the footer. Now let's make the pop-up centered using margin 0 or 2. Now it should be centered. Let's see how it looks. So it is looking really nice. Now let's add a close button on the top right corner. So we'll put it into the header tag. So let's add another element name with the class name close. We can put here the HTML5 special character times for the cross. So it will be like close. Now it will be, we can make it absolute position with relative to the header. So let's put position relative in the header and position absolute in the close tip. And it will be top, it will be 10 pixels from the top and 10 pixels from the right relative to the header. So let's see how it looks. Okay, we'll have to increase the font size for this. So let's make the font size 40 pixels. And now let's see how it looks. Okay, nice. For now, I'm gonna hide this entire pop-up so that it only appears when you click the button. We can just do it changing the flags to none display. Now it should be gone. Now let's put some design on the button. So we can use the same background color as the pop-up header. So let's copy that part of CSS for the button. We can copy from the pop-up header or pop-up footer. So let's copy everything from there. Now let's just change the padding from 15 pixels to 10 pixel top and bottom, and 30 pixels both sides. And also let's add some margin so that it does not touch the body, the top part. So this is how it looks. Now we'll have to add the JavaScript part, the main part. So we can add the JavaScript right before the closing body tag. You can also use external JavaScript file. It is not required here. Now we'll have to grab some element. First of all, we need the pop-up button. We can grab element using the document dot get element by id method. So in this method, we'll have to put the id as an argument. So the id is pop-up. Let's copy it. Pop-up button, sorry. So let's just copy it here. Now we'll keep this element into a variable. So let's name the variable to button, btn. And now we'll need the entire pop-up so that we can make it display none and display flags based on the button, which button is clicked. So let's name it pop-up. And lastly, we need the close button so that we can hide the pop-up when the close button is clicked. So let's do the same. Oh, we did not put any id here. Let's put the id. And now let's add the document get element id for the close button. Now we'll add a event listener to the button so that we can show the pop-up when the button is clicked. We can do this using add event listener method. And here the first argument will be the name of the event. In this case it is click, and then the callback function. So inside the callback function we'll have to put the code that will work after the click. So in this case we will just show the pop-up. So first let's show if it is working or not using the alert box. Let's check it first. So let's see if it is working. Yes, it is working fine. Now let's put the actual code. So we'll just hide the, sorry, we'll just show the pop-up. So we'll have to just add a style here. Pop-up, we can do this using the style object, and then the display object equals to flex. So now when the click on the button, it will show the pop-up. Yes, it's working. Now we'll have to add the event listener in the close button so that it hides when the click on the close button. So let's do the same for the close button. Add event listener, and then the click event, and then the callback function. So here inside the callback function, the code will be same as the, but we'll have to change the flags to none. So let's see if it's working. Yes, it is hiding the pop-up when you click the close. Now we'll have to add an event listener on the outside area except the pop-up. So let's do it. We can do it using another event listener in the whole pop-up. So we'll add an event listener in the whole pop-up, and we'll check whether or not it is clicked in outside the pop-up inner. So we can do that using the target. For that reason, we'll have to use a new argument in the callback function. So we can put anything here. I'm putting E. It is showing an error for some reason. I think on the callback function, the argument will not be any string, rather it will be a variable. So now let's check what is where the user clicked. So we can do that using the if statement, and in that if statement we'll have to check where it is clicked. So if e.target equals to pop-up, then only then we'll hide the pop-up. So same style as the close. So now let's check in the browser. Yes, it's working fine. Thank you for watching my video. Please don't forget to subscribe.